2023. I'm going through some of the best movies for every year that I have been alive, and in the year 2023, I turned 33.
Will's doing it.
I know this is not every movie of 2023, but these are some of my favorites, the ones I want to talk about. Anything I forgot, please leave it down below. All right, let's start off with the Best Picture winner. We got Oppenheimer. It was a movie, that's for sure. I was very much into the back and forth, and Cillian Murphy is just a great actor. Everything he's in, he's always very captivating. Christopher Nolan knows how to make a movie. We all know that. That's not anything new. But it is one of those movies that I probably will not watch again. It's good for what it is. I was lucky enough to see it in an IMAX. The sound was amazing. The visuals are great. It's one of those things. It's a well done, incredible movie. I just will never watch it again. That's a lot of things with some Oscar movies where it's a great movie. There's no denying it's not a good movie. It was very interesting to see the other side of people who created this inconceivable kind of weapon that we use, which is insane. We used it twice, and we've never used it since. And everyone kind of just agrees, okay, we will not use them, but we have them all. We're not going to use them though. So his guilt on him, that how he feels about what he created, and that could be the end of us all. But it's just a movie that I won't ever turn on again. It's not gonna be ooh, let's watch Oppenheimer. It's not gonna happen. But great for what it is. Absolutely. Can't deny that. And let's go the other side of the coin. We got Barbie. It was Barbenheimer summer. That was the whole thing. And it worked. There's a lot of movies that are coming out now that people are trying to they just recently had Wicked and Gladiator 2, trying to do Glicked. I did see both of them, but I didn't make it it wasn't, they're trying to capture the same thing they had for Barbie and Oppenheimer. They can't do it. Anyway, Barbie was fun. If you go into this, people were being so critical of it is woke and there's women. It's a Barbie movie. Of course it's going to be about women. What do you think? I don't understand people. It makes my brain hurt. But Margot Robbie was made to play this. Obviously, she's incredible. She does such a good job of, all the Barbie tropes. They did an amazing job of casting a really great slew of people. Ryan Gosling is Ken. If you watch my other videos about going through the years, every time a Ryan Gosling movie comes up, I get excited because I just love him so much. And that he was great. The songs are great. His Ken song, especially when he performed at the Oscars. Are you kidding me? It was the best. It was the highlight of that evening. This was a really fun movie. Also another movie I might not watch by myself, but we've watched. Me and my wife have watched it again. She gets choked up at the end montage. I think it's just as a woman, you kind of see things in this movie that maybe I as a man did not, which I completely appreciate. And it was one of those movies you watch and you're like, wow, that's a Barbie movie. And now what they're gonna do with other Mattel toy products and make other movies, I don't think they're gonna work like they did for this. They want to make a something about blocks. I don't know. They're just trying to make things that make a universe of toy movies, which I'm just Barbie was something, but don't force it. That's crazy. Next up, we have Across the SpiderVerse. This is the sequel to Into the SpiderVerse. Now we're into the Spider-Verse, or Across the Spider-Verse, and I believe the next one is going to be Beyond the Spider-Verse. So we're going in, across, and beyond. I get it, but I don't know why they just can't do 1, 2, 3 or something, because it just the names get confusing. I forget which one is which. Anyway, the same as I talked about the last one. The visuals are amazing. Miles Morales is a great character. They did kind of leave it on a cliffhanger. I'm not going to explain or spoil too much. They do leave it on a big cliffhanger of what's going to happen next. And then there's we were just sitting there when's the next one coming out? No one knows. It could be another 2 years from now, which is crazy. Hopefully not. Maybe this year, maybe next year. We'll see. Because it's obviously it's a big animated movie. It's not just going to be turned around in a minute. So, and then of course there's all the stuff behind how studios are just not treating VFX houses and these people working so hard on these things and giving them such tight deadlines and shopping around, pretty much getting the lowest price they possibly can to save money. And it's just you have to treat these artists right, because they are the ones fully making the movie. When you have a live action thing, there's the actors in front, there's people behind the camera, but there's so much on these animators' shoulders that they need to be given the respect and the pay and the time to do these things correctly without being so burned out and just ending a project and being like, and just kind of regretting even signing up for them in the first place. So I appreciate these movies. I will go to see them to support these artists, but also, come on, studios, treat them right. They deserve it. Next up, we have Poor Things. Emma Stone is incredible in this movie. You have this is Yorgos Lanthimos' movie. He does very surreal. This movie is like a head trip. There's so many different lenses he uses that give it such like blurring right on the outside. He does all these different tricks that make it incredible to watch. And she's also great, where she starts off kind of like a baby, but then rapidly grows and really just figures out who she is. It's one of those things. It's one of those, you watch it and you're just like, she's so talented, and this is such a great movie with such style and substance. Taking a plane all the way to Japan, we have Godzilla Minus One. This was the Godzilla movie that I wanted. They've had all these American-made recent ones, but then you have a Japanese company and Japanese creators doing an amazing job of bringing a scary Godzilla and a good human story at the same time. So many of these recent ones, all the ones with Millie Bobby Brown, all these different Godzilla movies they're doing, the fights with the King Kong and Godzilla are all great, but I just don't give a shit about the human characters. They give me nothing to care about them for. They're just like in the world with them. But Godzilla Minus One gives a really, really good human story, and it's just like inside the Godzilla universe. It gives it such... And Godzilla is terrifying in this. He is scary. He goes through and just blows up things, destroys. And then like the repercussions are so put on these people that are dealing with it. It's just... I was glad I quickly found a afternoon showing of this somewhere, and I just went and watched it and was so excited to watch it. And I was excited that it won Best Visual Effects at the Oscars, because it deserves it. This movie looks better than most huge budget movies just because of like the care and the small team that worked on it. That it just shows like so many of these movies come out and they're like, oh, we have $150 million budget and it looks like duty. And then you have a movie like this that comes out and it just looks so good. It's more about the care and where you're putting the money. You don't need to give The Rock $100 million or something stupid for a shitty movie that he poops out of his ass. I'm over the studios just dumping money and then just being upset when they don't get like a giant return. It's like, you can't be putting this much money into things. You can make an amazing movie for half of this budget and then just, get more. I know they'd like to bring in the actors, the big actors for the big, pull of the name, but just do your money better, because you're not making these big returns. You can't have an Avengers Endgame every year. It's just not happening anymore. Sorry, rant over. Godzilla Minus One is incredible. Next up, we have Dungeons & Dragons. This is a movie that was kind of not given its full kind of like theater release. It was put on streaming very fast, and it was a really fun movie. This is one of those movies that like, if you know D&D stuff, it really shines. If you don't, it's still okay if you don't. It still was a really fun movie. Chris Pine's very charming. They have a great cast. Knowing a bit about D&D myself, it was very cool seeing some of the mechanics put into this story, and it's like, it just was really well done, and it didn't get the flowers it deserved. I think it's doing much better now on streaming and things like that. It kind of found its audience, but I think some of these movies are thrown so fast to streaming, they don't give themselves time to like blossom. If they don't like it blow up in the first 2 weekends, studios are like, rip it out, take it out, it's crap. It's like, it still is good. It just maybe had bad competition that weekend. Maybe you didn't spend enough marketing to get people out there to know what the movie's about. But Dungeons & Dragons, I hope they make a sequel to this, or because there's more adventures to have in this world easily. And if they want to make the money, they'll do that. But do it well and not with like a stupid, big name actor just for cameo's sake. Don't do that. And last, we have The Creator. I absolutely love this movie. Gareth Edwards does such a good job it was like running gun filmmaking. and then doing all this CG after the fact, not needing a huge volume or anything insane. It looks amazing because he went to these locations and shot them, and then they just put a couple, maybe like a 1 or 2 points on people's faces, if that. Sometimes they didn't do anything, and it was just like brute force CG work to cut things out, have people be replaced by machines. It's an amazing sci-fi story that looks incredible because it's all real except for some robot parts. But like the locations are real. The people in it are mostly real, and it just looks amazing. And I think Gareth Edwards is one of those people that like, and he did it for cheap. I said this before about Godzilla Minus One. You don't need to spend so much money on these movies to make them look good and make us care about the characters. Thank you. That's my TED Talk. 2023 had some really, really great movies that I will think about for years to come. If you like this, I have a playlist going of all the years I'm doing, so 1990 all up to today. And if you could subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. Follow me on Letterboxd. I love that app. I'm writing stuff on there all the time. I love making these. I hope you enjoy watching them. What was your favorite movie of 2023? Leave it down below. Have a good one, everybody.